Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock for like the past month or so, you should know that by now Disney has brought out all properties from 20th Century Fox, which of course Fox has, now had, the movie licensing rights to films like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Now, ever since this deal was announced, well, who am I kidding? Ever since the first Avengers movie, I've been thinking about how the MCU can introduce characters like Spider-Man and, of course, the X-Men. We already know how well that went with Spider-Man, but now the question is, what about the X-Men? I think it's a bit more complicated than to just bring over one character. I mean, the X-Men is a huge universe with a bunch of different characters, and let's be honest, Fox has done a pretty good job with their X-Men movies. They had a few hiccups here and there, Deadpool, but I think the majority of us can agree that the X-Men movies aren't terrible. So, with that being said, should Disney reboot the X-Men in their own universe, or introduce a multiverse in which the Fox X-Men movies, along with their established characters, can just cross over into the MCU? Now, as much as I enjoyed Fox's X-Men movies, I feel as if a reboot into the MCU is a better decision, with of course the exception of Deadpool, as I think it would be hilarious for him to just cross over into the MCU and make references about being in a different universe and how the Fox and Disney deal went down. Now, how would you like to see a rebooted X-Men in the MCU? Me personally, not being a huge X-Men comics expert, I think that they could either introduce the X-Men in sort of a Avengers Secret Wars movie, or maybe just start off with their own solo X-Men movie, similar to the first X-Men movie that we got back in the year 2000. Where, think about it this way, maybe throughout the entire MCU, mutants were there this whole entire time, and Charles Xavier had his school for the gifted, but he kind of used his powers to wipe the minds of anyone who either found a mutant or found his school's hidden location. And then, of course, when it comes to everybody's favorite X-Men, that being Wolverine, I think it would be pretty cool if they introduced Wolverine as like a flashback way back into World War II, where he's fighting alongside Captain America. However, nobody knows that he's a mutant, and maybe during some battle he gets captured by Stryker, and thus begins the whole Weapon X experiments. I also think it would be pretty cool if in the future Avengers movie, Cap sees Logan and is like, gee, you kind of look familiar. You look like a guy that I fought alongside during World War II, and, Logan could be all, yeah, bub, that was me, or something like that. But anyway, what do you guys and gals think about the X-Men coming to the MCU? Should it be a reboot or not? And how would you like to see them get introduced into the MCU? And until next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood ELT, signing out.